Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Lickitung in the Open Great League, and you most likely think, oh, that's lame. But if you read the title, if you can also look at the thumbnail, you most likely already noticed that we don't have the usual moveset here. We're going to run, instead of the Power Whip, which is definitely a little bit of a silly move, we're going to run the Hyper Beam here, of course, which is going to do a ton of damage in a lot of matchups where people just don't really expect it. And what you also kind of want to do here with the Lickitung is basically get Pokemon into situations that they don't want to be in. For example, here, we would have liked to have Power Whip against the Azumarill, but because they know that we have Power Whip, or like they think that we have Power Whip, that's why they swap out here into their Alabama Snow. And thanks to this, we're going to be able to still even take this Icy Wind and realign our Pokemon, getting rid basically of the, not really fair alignment therefore. So we're going to have now the Manton aligned against the opponent's Azumarill, which is going to be great for us, because this is going to be a positive matchup for us. We're going to be able to resist the fast move of the opponent while we do neutral damage as well. Of course, it's still not going to be the greatest matchup ever, because player are still going to chunk me quite a bit, but at least you're going to be able to get rid of the alignment of the Annihilate against the Azumarill, and we can go for some more aerial aces, forcing either a shield here or getting the knockout immediately against the Azumarill, and we will see in the back it's going to be a Sableye, which is still going to be a little bit tricky. But I feel like we still have a chance here. So we can go for the Aerial Ace, which is going to get them low. We have to kind of go for another one as well afterwards. We're going to see here it's going to be a CMP tie. But I actually gladly take this, because if you remember, I swapped out against the Azumarill very, very late with my Annihilate. And so I should have a ton of energy on this Pokemon. And yeah, we're basically at 2 Ice Punches now. We got them into range for this. They actually went CMP, which I did not know that they would be able to do that. But it doesn't really matter, because yeah, they don't have 2 moves stored. And I can go for 2 Ice Punches, and with this, the Annihilate is going to be able to clean up this first game, so good game there to the opponent. Let's move on to the next one. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have the Annihilate against the Deoxys defense form. Again, not really ideal. We can swap out eventually if you want to, but I kind of want to stay in usually for a little bit and then try to catch a move, which does not work out at all. You're gonna get out the opponent's Obstagoon, which is really, really bad. Like, honestly, it's like literally the worst matchup that I could imagine. But of course, we have access to the move Hyper Beam, and Hyper Beam is exactly what we kind of want to go for, because the opponent tries to farm us down. But let's see here how much damage it's going to do. Boom! Going to chunk quite a bit from the opponent's health. Sadly, doesn't flip the matchup for us, which is really sad to be fair. But we can at least just go for one counter. It should knock them out from this range, and yeah, they only get 1 move off with that. I can go for the Ice Punch, knowing that the opponent is definitely going to go ahead and use a shield here, knowing that I would have the Shadow Ball already. They're gonna go for the Psycho Boost very likely here, so I decided to use a shield as well. Going to be the Psycho Boost, and the opponent is staying in here, and I can catch the move onto the Mantine, and this is huge, because this wastes the energy from the opponent, force them to swap out. They're going to have the Vigoroth in the back, which would be a great matchup for Annihilate, basically resisting every single move that the Vigoroth has. But we're going to have a pretty bad alignment here. Rockslide is going to chunk quite a bit from our health, and as you're gonna see here, we're gonna be kind of in range where they can nearly even farm me down with the counter. But let's see what we can still do here. Aerial Ace is coming through. They're forced to go for another charge move, I think. Oh, never mind, they are not, and so I can still go for one more counter here. But it's not really looking too good for us, because yeah, the opponent still has the Deoxys in the back, and I'm just gonna go for the risky play, because usually I would bait here. But not today. I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball, and this was definitely the correct play. Goodbye there. Next opponent coming through, let's see what they're going to have here. We're going to have the Sableye in the lead, and we're going to swap out immediately, and we're getting completely hardwalled here with our Lickitung, so I hope that they decide to just go ahead and go for a charge move and then swap out, because yeah, Lickitung going to be such a great matchup for me later, and yes, they do exactly this. They fell for it, and we can go for the big boom against the opponent's Lickitung. Boom, and goodbye there, and we can just go ahead and go for even another Hyper Beam if we wanted to, but it's also in range for 2 Body Slams, so 2 Body Slams is a little bit more energy efficient as well for this one, and so there's no real need for me to go for another Hyper Beam. But of course, that was like hilarious. It was just literally like, if they just stayed in with the Sableye, it would have been such a bad matchup. Yes, this is not a Sableye answer anymore, but they didn't, and so we're going to be able to now go for another Body Slam. We're going to be able to get the shield from the opponent as well, which is kind of nice. And because I know if I'm going to use a shield here, I'm going to end up against the Sableye anyway, and I don't want this, so I decided to just let this move go through. If they're going to be able to realign, that's great for them, but actually they're not even able to. They're going to have to let this move go through, and I was able to get the shield back, and I'm also going to see now that they're going to have the Azumarill here. And so I decided to go into my Annihilate. Annihilate is going to have not the greatest matchup in general here, but I can at least catch a move now into my Manta. Mantine, which can be kind of beneficial for later on, but this game is still not over. It's still going to be a little bit of a closer one here for sure. As you're going to see the opponent going for a charge move, the player of is coming through, and they're mostly going to swap out very soon. Or they're actually staying in here. Maybe they're staying in. I wasn't able to hit all the bubbles here, which is kind of sad, which was a thing I didn't really pay too much attention. But we're going to be able to just go for another charge move here. Aerial Ace gonna get the damage out here at least, and I can even reach another one, and this is going to be so great because the opponent has so much energy stored on this Pokemon that they're forced to use a shield, and I can even outspeed the opponent's Sableye here. Getting to another charge move, Shadow Ball is going to connect and knock them out, as we can just go for the full farmland against the opponent. We're going to be really great in the spot here because, yeah, I can just go for the Ice Punch actually, and I will be able to win this game. So, good game there. Mantine really MVP there, getting to those moves very fast, but we can move on to the next one. Talonflame lead, not what I want to face, so I'm going to swap out immediately, and we're gonna get out the opponent's Lickitung, and you know already how this is going to go here today. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go for the Hyper Beam, because nobody is expecting this move, and so we're gonna be able to just go for a big boom again, doing a ton of damage against the opponent, and it is just like so wild to me that is like possible to, I don't know, like hit the opponent for so hard with the Lickitung, because you only really see like the body slam damage. Yes, body slam is cool and spammy, but Hyper Beam is the way to go. You're gonna see that they actually can get to another charge move here. They are energy dry at this point, so I can guarantee here with this Hyper Beam tech basically definitely like switch advantage if I want to, but I think I maybe misplayed this one. I'm not too sure. I think I want to go for the aggressive lick down, which I should have not done. If I did not go for this, I would have been fine. But here I can still pretend that I have a Hyper Beam stored again against the Talonflame, so maybe I'm gonna get my shield back, but this was definitely a little bit of a silly move. And but I actually get my shield back, which is like the cool thing here. I decided to let this move go through. Mantine is pretty bulky, and I kinda would rather have the shield for the Annihilate. And the opponent stays in here still, goes for another charge move. I can still let this move go through. I'm totally okay with this, as I can still reach my charge moves here. I see the opponent going to reveal that they're going to have a Whiscash in the back. This is going to be a little bit more tricky, as I'm going to keep one stored here, like one move stored on my Mantine, but we're gonna see they can go for the Scald. If they're gonna get the debuff, this game is kinda over, but they don't get the debuff, but they can still get to another move. And yeah, like this game is really tough now to win. It is basically impossible to win, I would say. But yeah, maybe we still have a chance. I doubt it, to be fair. Like, honestly, I doubt it. Like, I actually don't know how this game gonna go, because, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't really... Like, those belts are, like, one day old or whatever while I'm recording it here. But I know that I actually still get to the Ice Punch here, which is kind of cool. We had a little bit of lag, but I think, yeah, it does not knock them out. It would put them into range for the Aerial Ace, but we would lose Team P-Tai anyway, so it's going to be a good game there to the opponent. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have a Whiscash in the lead, so we're going to decide to swap out very soon, I want to say, but this is the issue here. But the funny thing is, maybe we can still get at least like a shield or whatever. I'm not too sure. I decided to use a shield here onto the foul play, which was not really the smartest idea. So went for no shield, I guess. But I tried to go for like a move against the opponent, but should have most likely rather went into the Mantine or whatever. It was not the smartest idea, but at least we can Hyper Beam today the Sableye, so... Like, honestly, I think we had a Hyper Beam in like every single game so far, so that's kind of cool. But this was like the downside of not having Power Whip as a coverage move. At least you can still realign with using one shield, which is actually kind of important, because as you're going to see now, we're going to have the Whiscash against our Mantine. And this is going to be great, because it's a very positive matchup for me, as I can even go for 2 more body slams here, making this not even as bad as I thought. And so... Mantine it is for the next matchup here. They can go for the Scald if they want to. They can try to get a debuff here, but it basically does no damage. And they swap out into the Gligar. And I try to go for the bait because they have a shield advantage. I should have just went straight for the Ice Beam. But never mind, they're actually going to use a shield, so there maybe is still some play here. So maybe I was actually right with going for the bait here now. I can still go for another charge move afterwards. I'm going to decide to let this move go through, which you can see here as well, because it was a Team P-Tai, so I know that the opponent's energy dry. And with this knowledge now, I can just go for the Ice Beam, get the shield from the opponent, swap back into my Annihilate, and go straight for the Ice Punch. This should get a clean knockout against the opponent as well. Double super effective, and it doesn't. and it was like so sad to see. It's like wild how bulky the Gligar is that they can survive an Ice Punch here, but I still have to get to another Ice Punch. I don't get to another Ice Punch, and with this we're sadly going to lose this game here as well. Scald is just going to be too much, especially with this really annoying attack drop now. Would have been fine to knock them out. I actually can still knock them out, and I can actually still win this game. Good game there. We still had the Mantine in the back with 1 HP. Next opponent, Whiscash again here. I kind of want to just store some energy and go for the Shadow Ball because it's going to allow us to maybe get a shield from the opponent. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to be able to do that. I want to swap out here. Didn't work out for me, but maybe I can swap out later on. Mud Bomb is coming through, which is actually way better for me because now we still have more health on our Pokemon, and in comes a Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz, one of the hardest answers to Lickitung. But imagine there would be a move that does still a ton of damage against the opponent here, which is not Body Slam. And I don't think they're going to expect this one, do they? We will find out shortly. Hyper Beam coming through and going to do so much damage against the opponent. It is absolutely wild. Not too sure if we can still realign though, but it was already worth it for this, right? So if you enjoyed all those Hyper Beams so far, feel free to leave a like as well. I just really enjoy those kind of battles where you have actually a kind of serious team with like a little bit of a twist in there that just completely throws people off guard. And look at this, we were able to get a shield from a Mandibuzz with a Lickitung, which is something that you barely ever see because it's not really something that's supposed to happen. But we can just go for the Mantine now, we can go for the full farm down. I don't really care about this aerial ace that's most likely going to hit me now. It's actually a Dark Pulse, so doing a little bit more damage than I thought. But as you're gonna see, they're going to have a Bastion in the back. This is going to be a little bit annoying because they're still going to have the Whiscash. And so it might come down to a little Mantine trying to win against a Bastion. This is not going to be really ideal for us. We are forced to go for a charge move against the opponent. They're just going to go for the Mud Bombs, which is a smart decision here as I can overfarm by quite a bit and go for the perfect Ice Punch here because this is a CMP type. Knocking out the opponent's Whiscash. I can still go for the Shadow Ball, but they might still be able to just get too much damage onto me, so I cannot farm them down here, which is a little bit annoying. They're gonna go for the charge move though, and so they can knock out my Annihilate, but we're still going to have our Mantine in the back, and we still have some energy. I'm fairly certain that the Ice Beam is going to do more damage because it's single resisted instead of double resisted, and I'm not sure if an Aerial Ace would be enough here, so I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam, and this is definitely going to be enough. Mantine knocking out a Bastion is something that you rarely see, but I don't know, like this video is a little bit special anyway. A lot of Mudboy leads, like honestly, that's kind of wild. Like so many Mudboy leads, which is not ideal for this team. You kind of want to have them in the back because of the Mantine that is lurking there for them. But we can go for the Ice Punch, get the shield here. I should swap out already, but we were sadly locked in this matchup, and so I'm forced to use a shield here against the Hydro Cannon. I can stay in for a little bit longer. I try to catch the move. I don't catch the move sadly, but they stay in for a little bit, which is kind of funny, so I can let this move go through. Basically, Lickitung is my Pokemon to absorb energy anyway, and we're gonna get out the opponent's Skarmory. Not too sure if Hyper Beam is going to help us here, not too sure if we're even gonna get this move off because they're gonna get to the move here. It's going to be the Sky Attack, and yes, we still survive it, and so at least a final Hyper Beam for today's video is going to land against the Skarmory. Does not really matter too much, I would say, but at least gonna put them maybe into range for the Ice Punch now, which would be really great. And as the opponent stayed in for a little bit longer before with the Swampert, I hope that they would swap into this, but I was actually going for the Mantine play anyway, trying to get some extra energy there against the opponent. But as you're gonna see here, I am gonna go ahead and go for the Aerial Aces against the opponent's Lickitung. This is going to be a very tricky matchup. It's going to be very close, and I'm not sure if we can still win this game. It's going to be a very close matchup for sure. The opponent's charge moves would be better off against our Annihilate, but like Body Slam, for example, would be double resisted, but the fast move is kind of nice that we can avoid it with Annihilate. It's still very, very neutral matchups all around here. Like the Swampert is kind of neutral, this matchup is kind of neutral. We can swap out now, we can go for some counters, but honestly, it really looks like that the opponent is literally just in counter down range, so hopefully this is the case. Can we go for it? We can go for the counter down. And the final game is going to be ours as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my little showcase for Hyperbeam Lickitung. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye bye.